751. But we have seen some upsets in this tournament, so I would not be shocked. Oh, looks like we're getting underway here. So the first level you're going to see here, I believe from both runners, yep, is going to be Impact. Charlie thought about it for a second. Impact is the fastest starter. So basically, Impact's weapon is very, very fast. It's almost like an air dash if you've ever played the Mega Man X games. Granted, it has limited ammo, but it's an extremely useful weapon in a speed run. So even though this stage is a bit slow, Crazy with a little bit of speed gear there to make sure he makes it fall. If you don't land on that platform, you probably will die. Even though this stage is a little bit slow with Buster only, it's still better to actually go do it first so you can get that weapon and you make up that time and more in the next couple stages. Using a D-boost here to get up on that platform, Charlie is going to kill the Pikman instead. Now the main thing here, if you've played Mega Man before but haven't played Mega Man 11, so there's a lot of familiar stuff. You have a Mega Buster, you can jump, shoot, charge your Mega Buster, you have Rush. There is a built-in auto-fire button in this game, so they're not using Turbo. There is actually a built-in auto-fire, which is allowed because it's just a built-in function. Now what's different in this game, what's new, is the gear system. So they have speed gear and power gear, and you can see the gear meter underneath their health on the left. That's going to be, you can use speed gear to basically activate bullet time and slow everything down, or you can use power gear to overcharge your weapons and to charge up a more powerful Mega Buster. The regular Mega Buster, it's a 2-shot Mega Buster, similar to X2. The first shot does 3 damage, but the second shot does 5 damage. The second shot also ignores iframes, which is important. Going into the first mini-boss here, this is the Pikman Digger. They're going to take a damage boost through him, and then use rapid fire to mash him down from behind. Now comes up the big room, and this is a scary room. They're going to try and use iframes to get through these spikes and skip a bunch of cycles on this platform. Doing this room casually is very slow, so this saves probably about 15 seconds to do this room this way. But it's a very big... Oh no! Crazy falling down. Okay. So Charlie was behind a little bit, but he gets a little chance to catch up here. Fortunately, there's a couple Rush ammo refills. So talking about Rush, you actually have Rush equipped. Oh, Charlie's gonna do a more conservative and faster, or slower but more conservative and safe version of that. He's gonna just take a damage boost and walk through the spikes. He only rides the platform for about maybe 10 seconds or so. But that one's almost free. Now coming up on the... Ooh, Charlie with some difficult platforming there. Crazy, you're going to see him using Rush to skip through this platform cycle as well. And there's very specific times where you got to use Rush to avoid the impact pieces. So coming up on the boss here, each boss in this game has either a speed or power gear phase. And Impact Man, when he does his power gear, he's invincible for about 16 seconds. So we obviously do not want to see that. We want to do 12 damage to him, which takes him right to the threshold. It's if you do 13 damage to him, his next move will be power gear. Then we're going to wait for him to do a very long move, which is his 5th attack, and we're going to try and hit him with 2 power gear busters. That'll do exactly enough damage to kill him. So here comes the lemon. Crazy's going to have to take a modified... Oh no, he misses the first one. I don't know what he's going to do here, because he's completely missed it. Okay, he's gonna accept the power gear. So this is what we didn't want to see. When you have the big impact on your screen, all you can do is sit and watch, and he actually does do a lot of damage. Crazy's gonna have to be careful not to die. Charlie misses it too, so things have kind of evened up here. Crazy cleaning it up afterward. So kind of a sloppy impact from both players, but it's still even. And that kind of, we talked about, Crazy has a better PB coming in. So this is kind of what Charlieboy is going to need, is a little bit of slop from Crazy Ape in order to make up the time differential. That being said, I'm pretty sure Charlie has a free PB if he can execute. Going into Tundra here, and now we have the impact weapons. So pretty shortly on, maybe like the 4th screen, you're going to start seeing them use impact. And it is basically an air dash. Doing the regular one is a little... You can do a regular one when the... I'm sorry. You can do a regular one, which is 3 ammo, which goes pretty fast, which is actually still faster than sliding. or you can do a power one, which is 4 ammo and even faster and goes even further. You see Charlieboy using some right there. Now, what that does, it's going to... If the question is, should I use impact here? The answer is always yes. It is always faster to impact than it is to slide, and it's especially faster to impact than it is to walk or jump. Now, when we want to use impact, because we only have so much ammo, is we want to maximize our impact time, so we want to do it in places where we can't slide. So over spikes, or over pits, or over difficult enemy placements that you can't easily make it through, that's where we want to impact. You're probably going to see Crazy. Yep, impacting straight through them rather than stopping to bust them down. It's faster. Now, another big thing is you'll see them switch to impact very quickly after they kill an enemy, and then they'll move right to the enemy, even if they don't use any impact. And what they're doing there is basically fishing for a drop. If you played Classic Mega, usually you talk about drops as bad things, like, oh, they slow the game down, they pause the game for a second, we don't want that. But in actuality, drops in this game, weapon energy drops specifically, are free time saves. They will allow you to do more impact, so long as you have the impact missing to fill it up. Now, Charlie's grabbing a W tank here, and there's up to 4 available just in stages. Plus, there's a shop where you can buy them for 100 bolts or 80 on the weekend if you're that kind of guy. Which I am, by the way. I am the guy who sets the system clock to the weekend to get the free W tanks. But it's curious, there's different routing. So right now there's a very small difference between the world record holder, Piani, whose world record time is 33 minutes and 30 seconds, and the second place time, which is QTT6, which is a slightly older run, and that's still 33:30 something. It's only a few seconds slower. Ooh, Crazy would have fallen to his death there. That's a very scary screen, because it's very easy to die there, and you go very far back if you fall in one of those pits. You go right back to after the mini boss. Now, Tundra should be 4 power busters, and we're done. There's 2. And the second and third one, we just that one was a little bit late, so he's gonna have to see the speed gear a little bit. Fortunately, he's not completely invincible, but he does still have a decent amount of life left. There we go. So you see them sometimes shoot a power buster at them while they're still invincible. Charlie coming up to the danger screen here, by the way. He's doing the intended way, which is to wait for the wind to pick up, because you need the wind, the distance the wind gives you, in order to make these jumps. If you try and do it without the wind, you will just fall to your death, unless you have impact or rush coil to help give you an extra. Go into the shop and pick him up. I thought he got that W tank. I didn't see him miss it, so I wonder if that's an extra W tank. That's interesting. We'll see what happens here. Charlie had it lined up, but he burnt out his power gear. So the way power gear and the gears work in this game is you only have so much, and if you fill the meter up, you actually cannot use it again until your meter is empty, completely empty. So he had it lined up, but he didn't have enough meter there to wait until he was vulnerable again and shoot. Charlie going to impact. And you're going to see here, I'm sorry, Charlie going into Tundra, Torch, got it right that time. And you're going to see a lot of impact strats here. This is where you're going to see, oh yeah, a lot of impact strats. You're going to see him start using those W tanks that he's been collecting, and also like just picking up random drops, some scattered around the stages that are guaranteed. Also, this mini boss is a joke if you have Tundra. He saves a Tundra there by doing a little slide up to the chicken at the end instead of just doing 3 power Tundras. So he must have an extra one planned in somewhere here, maybe on this screen, to pick up some extra bolts. No, he's skipping that W tank, so maybe that's why he went to the shop, is because he doesn't feel comfortable picking it up. You can use power Tundra to freeze the fire here. Oh, Charlieboy taking a death. Fortunately, that's not too bad of a death. It's not too far into the stage. I didn't see if he used any impact ammo, and that's a big part of that's a big problem with dying in this game, is just you lose so much impact ammo, or like you end up using it up, and then you get back, and not only are you behind, but now you're short on impact ammo. And you can see how much slower, why Crazy decided to impact over those totems when you watch Charlie just jump on them. just walking there is so much slower. So that's a great place to use them because you cannot really slide there. You have to just slowly jump from totem pole to totem. Crazy coming up on the end. Now with Torchman, basically he's just gonna die really. Actually he has a lot of impact left. You don't want to have extra impact. Ooh, I didn't catch the first one, my fault. You don't want to have extra impact left because that's unused impact. Anyways, Torchman, he's really hard if you buster him. But it's actually really easy if you have Tundra. In his power gear stage, he's invincible to everything except Tundra. So all you have to do is Tundra him down. It takes 4 hits with Tundra. One of them can be a regular if you're short on weapon energy. Now Charlie coming up to this room. This is a scary room in Torch as well. That fire chasing him is instant death, and it will kill you even if you're in iframes. He is freezing the fire rail right there real quick to pick up that W tank so he can presumably use it later. Going into Blast, and we'll see what kind of strats Crazy Ape here. Is he gonna buster or not? So the reason we don't go into Blast sooner, the way you're intended to do this stage is by using the little enemies that blow up and shooting them into the boxes to blow them up, or by using the tripwires and using the tripwires to detonate the boxes to allow you to proceed. But using Torch can also detonate them, and it actually detonates them a lot faster than it does. It's a lot faster than waiting for them to blow up, and several times you need to wait for them to blow up, or they're blowing up in front of you and you have to sit there and wait for them to get out of the way. It's so much faster to just, ooh, Crazy getting a drop there from the enemy he killed too, and picking up another W tank. This boss is a cinch again. Tundra just absolutely demolishes him. Oh, he missed the top one. If you do it right, it only takes 2 hits, a power Tundra and a regular Tundra. Actually, refilling Tundra there? Question mark? I don't know if that was intentional or not. Charlie going into Torch. Now, the important thing is that you just don't run out of Tundra before he dies. If you run out of Tundra, you get to watch the rest of his power gear, so you don't want that. I don't know what kind of blast. Ooh, going for a difficult rush coil strat. Oh no, he falls. Okay, so the strat Crazy Ape was going. The strat Crazy Ape was going for there was to put a rush there and kind of jump on it before those boxes underneath the rush explode. But you have to be very quick or the explosions will hit you, and there's a way to save it using speed gear, but it's pretty tough. You'll probably fall to your. So that lets Charlie catch up a little bit. He had a bad Torch, but Crazy Ape has had a bad Blast, so we'll see. Choosing not to do the rush trick this time. It only saves a couple seconds. It saves you from having to climb that ladder, which is slow. Instead, you just go flying up to. Now, in this second to last screen of Blast, you're probably going to see Crazy Ape using fire to break the blocks above his head, and then using rush, yep, to get up. Oh no, he takes another death. Fortunately, he just got a checkpoint, so he should be okay, but he's on 0 lives. He really has to make sure he doesn't die here. A game over would be pretty devastating. Choosing to do it vanilla this time, not going to take any chances, just going to do the stage as intended, casually. We'll see if Charlie, yep, and he's going to pick up the W tank here as well. So I kind of never finished my thought, but the difference between the current world record strats and the QTT6 second place strats is that QTT6's strats, he just picks up the W tanks that are scattered in the stages and he never goes to the shop. Whereas Peony goes to the shop and buys 5 additional W tanks. 5 more. I didn't see Crazy Ape Boy. It looks like he had a fire fight there. So there's 2 variations of the quick kill. One where you use Buster and Torch, and one where you use Tundra and Buster. And I think he did the Torch variety. He also might have just had a sloppy fight, in which case it's fastest to finish it with fire. I'm sorry, did I say fire? No way I could possibly confuse Torchman for Fireman, right? They don't look anything alike. Going into Blockman, and now Crazy Ape, on account of having beaten 4 Robot Masters, has Rush Jet. Unlike in previous Mega Man games, it doesn't matter which 4 Robot Masters you kill. It's not like one Robot Master is holding Rush Jet and you have to go kill that one. You just kill any 4 and you get Rush Jet. Rush Jet works off the same ammo as Rush Coil, but you have different buttons. So you can press one button to bring out Rush Jet and another button to bring out Rush Coil. And you can actually, if you're quick, go from one to the other, like coil, switch weapons, and then bring out the Rush Jet and land on them in the air. That's really difficult. I don't know if we'll see that today. There's only a couple spots where it's really useful. Ooh, crazy with that little impact. This boss, yep, he gets the quick kill. That's about the fastest you can kill the boss. Charlie taking out Blastman. Blastman is real scary. He is a Power Gear boss. He's not invincible for very long. He's only invincible when he kind of does that little pose and he glows red. And then he's vulnerable for the rest of his Power Gear phase. But it's still really scary because he does so much damage in Power Gear. And his, he does so much damage in his, like his shots are enormous. They're so difficult to dodge. Crazy Ape going in a dangerous stage for block here. There's a lot of pits in this stage, and a lot of ways you can just accidentally fall in a pit. Going into the second mini boss here, same deal as the first. The conveyor belt really doesn't matter in any percent. Now, I should start explaining Blockman here. So Blockman is a similar kind of thing to Impact. If you remember, this is the demo stage, and Blockman, after you do I forget exactly how much damage, after you do a certain amount of damage to him, he turns into a giant block golem. And that golem has a completely separate life bar, a different full life bar from Blockman. And after you beat him, regular Blockman comes back out, and he has a third phase where you have to do the remaining health on Blockman. That all is a huge waste of time, and we don't want to see any of that. So we're going to try and kill Blockman before he transforms. There's 2 versions of this quick kill, and I'm not sure what Crazy Ape is going to do, but they both involve charging your Power Buster all the way fully while some bombs detonate on the wall. And he's going to walk into the bombs, and then we're going to hit him at the very last split second with a fully charged Buster that does 16 damage. Oh, he's a little, I don't know. Yep. So that was a miss. We're going to have to see the block golem for Crazy. Now, Torch makes fairly quick work of this. If you do happen to see the block golem, it hits him multiple times. And the block golem doesn't have iframes, so that makes it a little bit easier. Charlie, be careful. This stage is real scary. If you get hit, you can fall down. And once those blocks, they're on a certain pattern once you enter the room. But the longer you're in that room, the more out of sync they get, and it can get real frustrating. So Crazy Ape Man is out of block. Still on 0. No, I think he picked up an extra life. There is an extra life in this stage. Charlie just barely killing that boss before he jumped away. He did just reach a checkpoint and get some extra health. He's, using a little speed gear to make sure he gets that extra health. Now, going into Bounce for Crazy. Bounce is a really scary stage. It's probably, he fell down, so he's got a trampoline back up. That's not devastating, but it does lose a few seconds. Bounce is one of the most technical stages because there's 2 things about it. First off, it's a vertical stage, so you can't slide over any of the bouncy blocks because you just bounce on them. So that's slow, so we want to impact over as many of them as possible. The second thing is that most of the screens in this stage are vertical, unlike most other stages in this game that are horizontal. So we kind of have to use a lot of Rush Jet jumps and Rush Coil jumps to get through this stage quickly. And what that is going to mean is, essentially, we really want to balance. We want to try and get through with 1 W tank. Right now, at least 1 W tank. There are some guys tasking this game with a special engine, and they've used 2 W tanks in the task for this stage. But I don't know. We haven't figured out how to make good use of that with a human being yet. ETA an hour? I would say less than that. I mean, these guys are probably on pace for like 40-minute runs, give or take. By the way, if you have any question, seeing the golem as well for Charlieboy. I don't know. I think he doesn't go for that quick kill. Crazy Ape jumped on top of that enemy to grab the weapon ammo. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it was kind of funny. Oh, yeah, I think these guys would be probably 40-minute runs, or maybe a little bit less. So, oh, that's a difficult screen. Crazy Ape is on a really difficult screen there. Yeah, you can see how long that screen takes to do casually and how much time Rush Jet saves there. That screen casually, you're supposed to go all the way over to the left and back to the right. You can Rush Jet and just skip basically all of that. By the way, if you got Chelny Frog, now's the time. Ooh, that's right. Charlie goes into Acid here. Then that's a little bit unusual. Usually you see people do Bounce here. There's no real strong reason not to do Acid here. It just, you don't really use Acid up until the final boss, so most people put this off till the 7th or 8th. The last two Robot Masters are basically, you can do them in whatever order you want, Fuse and Acid. Most people use a little bit of Bouncy Ball in both those stages, so you want to go get Bounce before you come here, and you do want Block before you go into Acid, because that's the boss's weakness and it speeds up the fight a lot. Rip Chelny sub. It's fine. I'll put one in chat if no one else does when Charlie gets there. All right. We can't let the Chelny Frog down. So Crazy is going into Bounce Man, and I hate to say it, but Bounce Man is just kind of like get steamrolled. Bounce Man casually is probably the easiest boss, and the quick kill is just as easy as hitting him with 3 power pile drivers. If you're really min-maxing, there's another fight where you replace one of those with a power buster. But, I mean, it's the same speed. The only benefit of that is you save a power buster and you can use it somewhere else. Charlie going in this mini-boss hopefully can kill him with 2 bricks. It can be a little hard. Okay, that worked. It can be a little hard if that guy gets out of hand. He can start doing some mean stuff. By the way, this second part of Acid is terrifying. There's a lot of spike mazes in Acid. For some reason, Acid is both the underwater stage and we decided to put spikes everywhere stage. Yes, this is on normal difficulty, and that's probably the most popular speedrun and has the best balance between difficulty of the run and kind of interesting strats. There are a number of players who play newcomer and superhero, but it's not as popular. This is also no out of bounds, by the way, so going outside of the map is not allowed. Now, the interesting thing in Fuse that you're seeing Crazy, I almost said Elec. Clearly, like, no one would confuse them. I'm joking, the Robot Masters are very much based on the original original 6. So, a big thing with the stage is making cycles, and you can impact through those little electricity beams. And so it's a big thing to basically just to do that, to impact through the electricity beams and save some time. We'll see if Crazy Ape goes for strat here. Yeah, no, he's not quite going to go for it. He's going to rush and bounce his head here. He didn't quite make it. Okay. Still got through pretty quickly. You can also use speed gear in a couple places to make up some time. Coming up the block, man, he uses speed gear. It's not that bad of a thing. Ooh, he's got to make sure he doesn't die, though. Oh, no. 1 hit left. Fortunately, he starts just right at the ball skate, so it's not that bad of a death, but that's not what we want to see. He's going to burn a W take to make sure he has enough block to do this fight. But that means he's going to either have to buy a W tank, or just, unless he already had rotted in an extra W tank, he's either going to have to buy one or just skip one in a later stage. And down goes Acid Man. So Charlie's going to have Acid Shield, and again, usually we're using this for the final boss only, but there are some backup strats that you can do with Acid Shield, and we'll see if he uses any of them in any of the stages. By the way, this quick kill Crazy's going to go for is insane. It looks so cool if you do it. He's probably going to use a little bit of speed gear. Unfortunately, his gears got confused, so he's going to do a kind of more vanilla fight here, where you use bounce to kill him. The goal there is, and we'll get another chance to see in refights, the goal there is to use acid, or I'm sorry, use open with a power rubber, and then shoot a power buster, and use just a little bit of speed gear, just enough to hold Fuse Man in place while you go, while you hit him with the second shot of the Buster. Otherwise, he teleports away too quickly and doesn't hit him. Crazy Ape Boy putting in some lol emotes in chat. Alright, so Crazy coming to Acid, and we're going to see just slight differences because Crazy has Bounce, and he actually has Fuse, though I don't think we're going to see that. But because he has additional weapons, we're going to see him doing slightly different things. By the way, this is what can happen easily in Bounce Man. Bounce Man is probably considered the most difficult stage by most runners, and there's a reason why. Probably this and Wily 1 are the scariest. So yeah, Crazy coming up here. Now, the water is pushing him around, so you'll see him moving slightly faster than usual, and you do kind of have to accommodate for the water. If you're not careful about it, you can easily just end up falling into a spike because you were moving quicker than you anticipated. Crazy hoping for a drop there. He did not get one. That Sniper Joe drops weapon energy a lot. Oh, hold on. We've done it. Shelny Frog. Crazy getting to the mini boss there. Charlie, I don't know if he doesn't have enough impact. Usually you see players impact across the screen because, again, you really can't slide here. And also, yep, there it is. So that's a lot faster than doing that stream normally. And again, he just jumps on the guy. Usually you use a blast to kill that guy, or if you're Reebs, you use bounce, or well, no, I guess he doesn't use bounce. He uses something else. But these guys are just jumping on it. Now, Crazy Ape coming up to this kind of scary part. Oh my God! I thought he was in the spikes there for a second. There's still kind of one more spike maze to go, so we'll see how he handles it. By the way, you'll see if you didn't catch it, you can fast weapon switch in this game, unlike other classic Mega Man games. Oh no! Crazy taking a death, and I believe he was out of impact as well, so we'll see what he does. He's going to be able to pick up a couple free refills here. Fortunately, the refills respawn when you die. Okay, just going to take it slow through this screen. So this screen, usually you see people impact through because the water is actually pushing you backwards. So even walking here is slower than usual. But impact is not affected by it. So impact is really fast on that screen. But because he doesn't have enough, he has to just do the screen casually. We're probably going to see him slide through that screen. And yeah, he got hit while sliding, which lets him go into iframes without having without stopping, basically. Charlie does not pick up the W tank and bounce. It was over there on the left. He decided not to go do it. And we'll see if Crazy can get through the spike maze this time without any issues. He saved just enough impact to do that one impact. I'm not sure what Charlieboy is doing there. I think he's in the wrong spot. Or he's just using that to get up there. There's a way to trick that elevator into thinking... So you're supposed to jump down from the top onto the trampoline to get all the way up. There's a certain spot where you can actually go up the shaft and then fall down and trick the game into thinking that you've jumped from the top. But he wasn't in the right spot to do it. And Crazy Ape Boy finishing up Acid. Is that all 8 robots for him? I believe it is. By the way, we'll see. Sometimes players have different... there's 2 different versions of the soundtrack. So we'll see which one Crazy Ape is using. Though I think they're the same in the Wily stage. Now, going in the Wily stages, Wily 1 is a really scary stage. Yeah, there was a little audio glitch there. Sorry for that. I had to stop and switch to Crazy Ape's feed. So Crazy Ape here, and you're going to see him. This is a very scary stage. There's a lot of pits and a lot of ways to die in this stage. And you're going to see him impacting over a lot of them. And it's very scary because you kind of got to dodge bullets and things while you're impacting. And if you don't do it properly, it's very easy to get hit into a pit and just take a death. And dying is also usually very bad because you're using a lot of impact. Fortunately, there's a lot of drop slaying around this stage, but we make use of basically all of them. We're not leaving anything on the table here. Interesting. He chooses to go for the normal pile drivers instead of the power ones. Usually you see power. Little bit of desync here. It looks like we're fixing it up here. And moving on through Wily 1, yeah, again, power impact. This net screen in particular is scary. He's going to have to try and dodge these bullets as he's jumping from place to place to get... Okay, using rush coil there and letting the bullet kind of go past him. And he's made it to the checkpoint. Now from here, it's pretty much a straight shot to the Yellow Devil. He is going to have to impact over one more room. That room is kind of free if you have enough impact. You basically just impact over the entire room. Then there's a short climb. Now the Yellow Devil, there's a variety of quick kills from him. We really want to kill him in at least one full cycle. We do not want to see a second cycle in the Yellow Devil. So they're going to push him into his speed gear phase using four chain of regular blast, which actually does more damage than a power blast. And then we may see one of a couple quick kills, but most of them involve hitting him with another 4-chain blast and then doing 2 more power blasts, or sometimes doing 3 or 4 more power blasts, just straight power blasts, which is easier but also slower. And it puts you at the risk of possibly missing a cycle, which is really bad and you don't want to do. So there's the 4-chain. Let's see what he does. He's going to shoot 4, and he's going to attach it to one of the smaller ones. The one in the back, there we go, he got it. The one in the back is the one you want to hit. There we go. That's a pretty good quick kill. That was maybe a second slower than optimal, but it wasn't. It was really good, and it's really difficult to get a good Yellow Devil. So that was a good Wily 1. Charlie just barely not making that cycle, trying to use a little bit of speed gear to make it through, and coming up on Fuse, which I believe is his 8th Robot Master. So we're seeing him about a full stage behind here, which is unfortunate, scary, because we're running out of stages. There's only 4 Wily stages. Wily 3 is refights, and Wily 4 is just Wily himself. Now, Wily 2 isn't as instant deathy. There are some pits, but it's more just a scary stage, and there's a lot of ways to get trolled and lose a lot of time. There are also a couple really scary screens. The Sniper Joe one in particular, if you've played this game, you know what I'm talking about, is a scary room. There's also a climb at the end where you can easily fall to your death and lose a lot of time, and the boss is not easy either. So Charlieboy with the 3257-8 robots. Usually we time it by the teleport out. At least that's the way the splitter splits. There is an auto splitter for this game. Thank you very much to the people who made. I also want to say while we're that's a scary Sniper Joe room. He's choosing just to use his weapons to get through it. He's not even gonna entertain doing that room on this pace. He's just gonna get through. Now, while we're still watching, and while people are still watching, I just want to say a couple things. If you're interested, if you like what you've seen and you're interested in speedrunning this game, and there's all sorts of strats for this game is only, it came out in early October, so it's going on 5 months old, and we've already had a lot of development in the speedrunning scene. I mean, obviously, it's a game in an established series, which is really popular among speedrunners. If you're interested in this, feel free to join us. There's a leaderboard on megamanleaderboards.net. The PBs on that leaderboard were used to actually seed this tournament. There is also a Discord, which you can find on the leaderboard, where you can come and ask us questions. And last but not least, there is a video tutorial by a guy named Moo Strats, or he's Moo Akai in this tournament. And he is actually still alive. Granted, I believe he's in the losers bracket, but he hasn't played yet. He's made a video tutorial on his YouTube page called Moo Strats that will get you how to speedrun this game, and you can easily get like a 36-35 time just using the strats presented in his YouTube tutorial. You can probably even get a 34, to be honest, but you'd have to be really good. Crazy going into the Malvern fight. Now this guy, the thing is you're going to want to use bounce to open his outer shell, and then we're going to be hitting his core, which is the weak spot, with either power impact or power buster, and we'll see how he chooses to do this fight. Things have kind of gone wrong here. Usually you're not going to see him go, oh, Charlie takes a death. I think he has an extra life though. Yeah, he has plenty. Okay, that is the room right before the checkpoint. Using double gear? Okay, whatever worked. Hey, that got the kill. Like when things go wrong, so when you're on low health, you can do a special move which activates both power and speed gear at the same time. And they're actually way better than they usually are. They're way more powerful. Like speed slows down speed a lot more, and power charges a lot quicker. The catch is you have to use it until your gear burns out, and then it's unavailable for a long time after that. So you want to make sure you get the kill if you use it, because then you're going to be without it for a while. Yeah, that was a spooky Malvern fight, but he gets through it. Now we're going to get going into refights, and that's pretty much all the stages. There's a very short, like one-screen stage, and then refights. You may see a couple different things here. There's a different impact fight, but only the best of the best are going for that. Like, I'm not going for that. I think only maybe a handful of players are. So we're probably going to see him trying to do the same impact fight he missed earlier. Let's see if we can get some revenge on Impact Man. Looks like he'll be able to. Yeah. So while that wasn't perfect, that was a pretty good kill. By the way there, Charlieboy coming up on Yellow Devil. Okay, he needs one more hit. He can get it here. Good, good, he got it. You do not want to do that, because depending on RNG, the big Yellow Devil will come back out, and he can do all sorts of terrible things that waste a lot of time. Bounce goes down. Now we're probably going to be seeing Blast and Torch next, and we'll be seeing, I'll be seeing what kind of, yeah, he's going to do the Tundra Blast fight. So he's going to be doing a Power Tundra and then 3 Power Busters, jumping on Rush in order to hit him in the air with a Power Buster, and then using Speed Gear at the end to make sure, oh, no, but things went wrong. So we're just going to be doing a Power Torch fight from here on out. The nice thing is, in refights, you have plenty of Torch, so it's not a big deal. You're not going to be out of Torch. Also, Torch happens to kill his attacks, including his Power Gear ones. Like, it blows them up so they can't hurt you. Going into Torch here. And same deal, he just wants to make sure that he doesn't run out of Tundra. It'll be curious what he's going to do here. I think because he's not using any Tundra against Blockman, yeah, he's just going to do a pretty standard Torch fight. He's going to use up all his Tundra, and he's not going to refill it because he doesn't need to. Now, going into Acid here, the one fight that is normally different in refights is Fuse, because now, or sorry, Fuse. It's Tundra because now we have Fuse. We have his weakness. By the way, Charlie doing the same thing. That Sniper Joe room is such a pain in the butt. He's choosing to just power Tundra hit, and that's not uncommon, to be honest. So you may see him doing a Fuse fight in Tundra. Getting another shot at the Blockman quick kill here, by the way, which I believe he's going to be doing the same strat as before. Charlie getting trolled by the Sniper Joes in this game are vicious. They will follow you to the ends of the earth. Like, you can run, but they will find you. Oh, it looks like he's got it. Looks like he's got it. There we go. That's how you kill Blockman. Now, he did burn out his gear, but it doesn't really matter. Between the death animation for that boss and the intro for the Nets boss, he's going to have, his gear's going to be back before the Nets fight starts. There, a little bit of speed gear. Using some speed gear there to keep them in place. There we go. Good. That's a good Fuse quick kill. That's how you do it. There's slight different variants depending on what gear you open with and things like that, but that's pretty much, you can't get it too much faster than that. Now, here's what we talked about. We're going to be using Fuse to kill Tundra even faster than we killed him the first time. Last thing I want to say, while we're still kind of have everyone here and it's still ongoing, if you give these guys a follow, like they're really good runners. They're putting on quite a show. They're playing their hearts out, and especially, yeah, Charlie having a little bit of trouble there. Fortunately, has E-tanks, and that's not a bad idea if you have it to use it. You know, if you're making a shop trip anyways and you have extra bolts and it's a race, you might as well, because you'd rather take it probably takes 3 or 4 seconds to use an E-Tank, whereas a death is going to cost you a lot more than that. Now, Crazy's coming up in the last stage of the game. The only real thing in this stage is we're going to be kind of just trying to beat these platform cycles to get there as early as possible. There are some glitches you can do in this stage, but they're all outlawed, other than the rush shenanigans he's doing. Oh, hopefully, okay, it was very close. You got to be really far ahead to make it across that spike gap with 2 powers. Fortunately, he made it, but I have seen players fall into the spikes because they weren't far out enough. Using speed gear to make that platform cycle, and he makes it. He saves like a good bit of time there. Choosing to refill his health, because you do a lot of damage boosts. So final Wily, we're finally going to be using the acid weapon for something. So you're going to see him open with a power blast, and then try and rush coil up and do a power acid. Now the acid shot, when you have the shield out, you can shoot a shot, and that does hurt him. But hitting him with the actual shield itself is way more damaging. So that's usually what we're going to try and do, is, yep, just slightly touch him with the shield, and it does, if it's a power shield, it does a ton of damage to Wily. Now, same fight here, we're going to do, the goal is to do a power blast and 3 power acid shields, and if you can hit him with that, then he's dead. Oh, missed that one. He wasn't quite high enough to hit him with that. Now, the problem is, as you can see, you got a damage boost in order to hurt him with that. Oh no. Kill him, quickly. Shoot him. Power Tundra. Okay, good. Good. So only blast and acid do more than 1 point of damage to Wily. And when he goes into his double gear, it's really scary. So good game to crazyapeboy and get your GGs. Charlieboy seeing the block golem here, and he's still... He kind of has just not had the game he hoped for. He's maybe a couple deaths, a couple mistakes away from kind of taking this run, because crazyapeboy did leave him a little bit of an opening here. Going up to do, yep, single power blast is going to do it. Let's see. So he's still got 6 Robomasters to go, and then Wily himself picking up a little bit of health. That health does respawn between fights, so that's very useful. Except I think it might not in superhero mode. I'm not. Someone can tell me. Yeah. So using fuse here is so much faster than doing the fight normally. Yeah, you can see. We only went across the screen once. That's quite a bit faster than doing it the normal way. Going in for a bounce strat. Now, I know a big part of this game is buffering, and I know Charlie does not always use the turbo feature, the auto fire feature in the game, which makes it it's a little bit difficult because you have to time everything as soon as the fight starts. A lot of strats on screens, especially boss fights, are based on buffer strats, where if you're holding certain inputs when the fight starts, you will actually get those inputs as soon as the fight starts. For example, if you're holding like down right in the control stick to switch to Tundra and power and auto fire here, you will do a fully charged Tundra the instant the fight starts, which is really useful because a lot of strats are really kind of counting on that. Using a W tank to refill his torch here because he's running low, and you really do want to have enough torch. Yep, torch makes that fight so much safer. You do not really want to do that fight without torch. Moving on here, he's got to fight Torch himself, which will be using power. So it should be 2 power Tundras, a regular Tundra, and then another power Tundra. If you're doing, you know, like world record strats, there's a different version of the fight that does a Mega Buster shot. Well, he just did 4 power Tundras, which works as well. The only really reason to do 3 powers in a normal is if you're conserving Tundra for something else. But if you're not going to use it in any other fight, why not just do 4 power Tundras? The neat thing about this game is you, like in other Mega Man games, you need enough ammo to do an attack. So let's say, I don't know exactly the number, but let's say a power Tundra takes 8 ammo, and you only have 4. In older Mega Man games, you needed the full amount of ammo. You needed the 8 ammo to do the shot. But in this game, actually, even if you only have 1 piece of ammo left, you can do the power shot, the powered up version up. It doesn't matter. Like, you can basically go into the negative with ammo and it's fine. Let's see if you can skip the power gear here. I think he's going to do 3 Mega Busters and then power gear. Yep. So he missed that power buster, but that's still okay. If he can get another one in, no. Okay. You can miss the first shot and still be okay, so long as you can get another shot in kind of early. So he's going to lose a little bit of time there, but yeah, still killing the ball. And that's it. So he's going to be moving on to Wily himself. One last check, make sure everything's good. He's still got a E tank and a W tank, which are really useful. Actually, so a couple times if I've had extra ammo, I bought an M tank. They do have those in this game. That completely refills both all your weapons and your health, and that can be a life. Oh no! Yep, he's gonna. Fortunately, he hadn't used too much till that point. Just some and a little bit of rush jet. That room is really dangerous. If you go to make that platform and you miss it for any reason, it can be really bad. You basically are doomed to fall in the spikes. Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, he's just gonna have to wait for the next platform. That's slow, but it's still preferable to dying. It's a few seconds lost. So just riding the elevator the casual way here, he is going to slide through here and try and skip at least some cycles. And even if he can only skip, like, not all the cycles, the maximum number, but some of the cycles, that still saves a lot of time over just waiting here at the end while you slowly go down that funnel. Coming up on Wily here. Nice Japanese voices, shout out. Having a little trouble here. He's gotta hit him with the acid. Okay, so he's just using the acid shot. And there, he kills him with the acid. So, I mean, a lot of Mega Man games are movement. So, a lot of times, if you're doing each screen just 1 second faster, it adds up to a ton of time over the course of the game. Now, obviously not dying, he had a few deaths, and that's a big thing. And he also missed, I think, both impact and both block quick kills, and that's a big thing. But what's more important is just saving time on every screen. And if you're able to save time on every screen, you'll be able to just trying to hit him with that last. There we go. Oh no, we're in power gear mode, so this is scary. He doesn't stop this. You have to kill him. He's going to try and hit him with Power or Tundra, which is 1 damage each. But that's still real scary. I think he'll have 1 health left over at the end. Yep, so he's going to have to hit him with something. Oh, it didn't quite hit him. There we go. GG. So yeah, it would be movement in each screen, I think. You have to break down each screen by screen and probably see that on a screen by screen basis, crazyapeboy might be saving a second or 2 each screen, but that adds up to minutes over the course of the run. And that's kind of every Mega Man game is like that, the speedrunning. Movement is so important, and just doing each screen, even a second or a half second faster, adds up so much over the course of the run. Then you have your big things like deaths and missing quick kills, but that really makes a huge difference. Hey, we have Charlieboy here in chat. Still waiting to see if Crazy Ape is up for it. I know he was feeling sick, so I don't know if he's going to be there.
Yeah, I think he said in the SRL that he was going to skip the interview this time. Good games to him. Yeah, he's obviously a way better opponent or a way better competitor than I am. So, you know, that's this is just the luck of the draw and stuff like that. You know? I needed to practice a lot more and just didn't have enough time to do it. So, you know.
Yeah, he's a tough opponent, and he has been doing these speedruns, different categories, but pretty much since the game came out, he's been chipping away at it, and he hasn't got down to the time he has. Just, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a fun game. I don't know. I can't get into a grind of it, unfortunately. I don't know why. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I'm in the Mario Bros. 3 randomizer tournament right now. This, I want like other speed runs that I want to run. I'm still doing Killer Instinct tournaments on my channel and stuff. Man, I got like my schedule is so crazy right now. But no excuses. I mean, hey, A-Boy did good, of course, or good enough to get what, a 41. I mean, it's like 80 minutes faster than I can beat the game. So hey, I did get a race PB, which I guess that's kind of cool.
Well, that's good. That's progress. You know, little bit by little bit. Most people don't get great times overnight. It's 15-second PBs at a time.
Yeah, definitely not a real PB though. Like my PB right now is 47 something. So yeah, definitely got to get some work on it.
But yeah, you had some mishaps, and hopefully we'll keep seeing you speedrunning this game. You are going to be moving on from the tournament, and Crazy Ape. Let me check the.
Right. Yeah, I'm out now.
Crazy Ape is going to be going up against Chelny, who has been on quite a tear.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Good luck to those guys. You know, I mean, they're both really great runners, and yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match for sure. Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to watch that one. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what happened with the mishaps. Like, especially in Torch stage, I guess is where originally things started happening. I pressed the button, nothing happened. I'm like, dang.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
I was thinking it was my controller. I mean, I do at the moment use wireless Xbox One pad for this game.
I get you.
So I was thinking maybe something interfered with the signal, or the controller was dying. I after that stage, I went and got a backup battery in between, and I was like, oh man, it's kind of rough. But I mean, hardly even noticed, I think. So.
Gotcha. All right.
I don't know.
So
did what I could.
Yeah, and you did well. You did well. You had a couple of mishaps in Torch and things like that, but overall, I mean, you did better than a lot of people we've seen try and speedrun this game. And it's not. They call it the impossible game. They call it that for a reason. It's definitely one of the hardest Mega Man speedruns amongst the original 11 Classic Series games. There's just so many moving pieces to this game. In so many ways, you can just lose massive amounts of time.
Right. And according to my splits, I've only got 20 hours total playtime, so
gotta get on that grind.
I know.
Chelny coming up. I think I saw his run attempt counter, and it's at 1,300 already.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah,
and I think myself, I'm in the 200s or something like that.
I think well, my biggest deal is whenever I go for attempts, I'll always reset if something goes wrong, no matter what. Apparently, So I mean, I've got like 5 complete runs out of 151 now, and this was one of them, and the last race was one of them. So, I don't know, man. I need to focus. I need to grind more, but I mean, yeah, it's just finding the time with the want to. I mean, a lot of other stuff going on right now. Hopefully I'll be able to come back to this soon enough and put some...
I definitely hope so. I definitely hope we keep seeing Mega Man 11 speedruns from you. Real quick, because we do have an Ori and the Blind Forest scheduled for 3 p.m. here, so I do have to wrap this up. Also, there is elsewhere in speed gaming, there is a daily entrance Key Sanity Link to the Past race, and I also see some ESA marathon stuff going on. So that Link to the Past race is on Speed Gaming too, and they have the Dutch and English restreams of ESA if you guys want to see those. Did I say English? I meant Spanish. Spanish.
I have no idea, to be honest. I kind of started thinking about other things I have to do this week.
So if you guys want to join us, we are on megamanleaderboards.net. Feel free to join the Discord, and there's a video tutorial on Moo Strats on YouTube. Shoutouts to everyone in the Mega Man community, and thank you very much to both our runners, Charlie and Crazy, who unfortunately is just a little bit under the weather and couldn't join us for the interview today. GG's and best of luck. See you guys next time.
Yeah, GG's, guys. Thanks for watching. See y'all.